beauty of sharing, a Christmas exaltation on existence, love, and humanity. Um, Today, we are not gathered to celebrate a season, we are gathered to remember something essential about being human. Christmas comes every year, yet each year it asks us something of a question that is something like a question that is unsettling, a disturbing question. It raises a kind of disturbing question. Like, who are we becoming in the way we live with one another? Before the lights, before the food, before the songs, there is a silence at the heart of Christmas. A silence that speaks. And today, I invite you not to rush, not to scroll away, not to listen with distraction, but to sit with yourself, with others, and with the mystery of sharing. So we live in an age of unprecedented connection, and at the same time, with an unprecedented loneliness. We talk to screens more than to souls. We exchange data faster than compassion. We accumulate more than we understand. Yet, beneath all this noise lies a very deep existential hunger. What is this hunger about? The hunger to be seen. The hunger to belong. The hunger to matter, to be recognized. Christmas does not deny this hunger. It enters it, abides in it, and occupies it. So, the world into which Christ was born was not peaceful. It was fractured politically, economically, and even spiritually. And it is into such a world that sharing becomes revolutionary. This underlines the importance of Christmas. Because sharing says, I refuse to live as if your suffering is irrelevant to my existence. Sharing is not first an economic act. It is not an economic act in the first place, in the first instance. It is an ontological one. To share is to affirm that being itself is relational. Yeah, that's why it is. Sharing is ontological. No human being exists in isolation. We are born dependent. We survive being interdependent. We die remembered, and of course, or forgotten by others. All this tells us about the ontological status of the human's nature as a being in sharing. Christmas teaches us that God did not save humanity from a distance. God entered relationship. Divinity did not dominate humanity. It shared humanity. it embraced humanity and became part of humanity. So, the incarnation is not power display. It is power relinquished. The manger is not sentimental. It is subversive. It declares meaning does not come from accumulation. Dignity does not come from status. Salvation does not come from control. So, the Son of God is born without property, without security, and without privileges. Why? To reveal that love flourishes most where sharing is necessary. The manger dismantles the lie that we must hoard to survive. This is the existential relevance of Christ's birth on a manger. It dismantles the lie that we must hoard. We must be selfish in order to survive. When we share, we restore dignity. To share food is to say to the other, you deserve to live. To share time is to say to another, you are not an interruption. To share listening, to give someone a hearing, is to say to him or her, your story has a weight. Christmas is a reminder that dignity is not earned. It is given. And when we share, we become co-creators of a more humane world. So, we often fear sharing because we think it diminishes us. But I tell you, existentially, the opposite is true. The opposite is the case. Sharing doesn't diminish us. Actually, we discover ourselves through others when we share. The self is not a closed system. It is a gift that unfolds in encounter. So, in giving, we encounter parts of ourselves we did not know existed. This encounter lies in the meeting through sharing with others. Patience, compassion, humility, immeasurable joy are all discovered in sharing. And these are parts of ourselves we cannot find, we cannot meet, we cannot experience without partaking in sharing. So, a world that refuses to share becomes violent. Of course, not always with weapons, but with indifference. Indifference is the quietest form of human cruelty. It is a more dangerous kind of war, of violence, than weaponized violence itself. So Christmas judges us firmly but gently not by what we believe, but by how we treat the vulnerable. A society that cannot share cannot love. And a society that cannot love cannot endure. So this Christmas, sharing does not require grand gestures. It requires attention. Reach out to someone who has been forgotten. Listen without fixing. Give without announcing. Forgive without conditions. Let your life become a manger, a space where others find warmth. This is the genuine and existential implication of Christmas. So, when we share, we resist despair. When we give, we affirm life. When we love, we participate in the divine. Christmas is not about having more. It's about becoming more human together. So, my friend, may your sharing heal wounds you cannot see. May your giving restore hope you did not know you carried. And may your Christmas be rich, not in possessions, but in presence with others. Merry Christmas, and have a lovely Yuletide. Cheers, friends.